Demerara Bridge construction to begin soon. High Court says Hicken can stay. To face court for drug bust. And CGX to miss deadline. I am Rico Bulford, and this is Uncut News. You see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. China Railway Construction Company Limited has begun preparation works for the new Demerara Harbour Bridge. Yesterday, Edgel told Starbrick News, quote, "The company has begun preparatory work, administrative things, getting mobilized, getting their equipment, sourcing materials, engineering testings, and are keeping us up to date. As you know, also, there was a tender for supervisory works, and that is still being evaluated. So we are at the stage, and I hope soon we will get the supervisory consultancy to manage the project." End quote. Meanwhile, in London, on Wednesday, residents of Wismar Housing Scheme blocked the community's access bridge, protesting the unfinished road projects in the community. Culture News reports that it has been months since the project to construct a concrete road and drains in the community has been stalled, and the contractor, who has been identified as Judy Sugram of A&D Construction and Supplies, has dumped the aggregate on the main access road, inconveniencing anyone entering and exiting the community. In fact, the road is completely blocked with the pile of loam, and residents are demanding swift intervention from the regional authorities. The contractor has been issued several warning letters by the RDC, and still construction did not move, even though the project should have been completed since last. Following news of British Airways' entrance into the Guyana market next year, the GCCI has renewed their call to drop visa restrictions for Guyanese travellers to the UK. This comes at a time when Guyana has become the UK's largest trading partner in the Caribbean. They said they are preparing to make official requests to both the Guyanese and British governments yet again. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's Car of the Week. Currently on sale is this 2016 Suzuki Jimmy Sierra 4-wheel drive. It comes with regular and low-range 4-wheel drive, Bluetooth, mug rims, new tires, TV, CD, stereo, fog lamps, back camera, and much, much more. Buy cars for $3.4 million. Or pay as low as $700,000 down, with around $67,000 monthly for 5 years, and it is yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit the showrooms at Lot 171 Peter Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lama Street, and tell them you can send you for this sweet deal. This afternoon, the High Court ruled that the President has lawfully appointed Clifton Hicken to act as Commissioner of Police. The judge found, among other things, that in the absence of an opposition leader at the material time, the President could not have been faulted for making the appointment. Several weeks ago, the opposition had challenged Hicken's appointment, arguing that the President should have waited until the opposition actually had a leader to consult with first. Yesterday, a 27-year-old man was arrested after he admitted to hiding a shotgun that was stolen from a security guard last month in South Rumfeld, Georgetown. Following a raid of his home in Sophia, he then led officers to the gun, which was buried in a nearby ball field. That same day, police also busted a 29-year-old man at Border Street, Georgetown, after he was caught with 3.9 grams of rock cocaine hidden inside a cigarette pack. He was picked up and searched during a raid in the area. Today, sisters 21-year-old Jamacy Jason and 29-year-old Tiffany Greaves were remanded to prison for the fatal stabbing of their neighbor, 22-year-old Vanessa Anderson. The duo was not required to enter a plea to the capital offense of murder. These siblings were remanded to prison until September 28th. Originally charged with murder over the beating to death of 22-year-old fisherman Sharafuddin Nazumuddin in 2017, Surendra Sukhdeo and his daughter Mandi Sukhdeo have now been found guilty of the lesser count of manslaughter. Their co-accused, Rian Ghani, was found not guilty on all counts. These Sukdeos are expected back in court September 8th. So, you need a part for your truck and you've looked your eyeballs out and can't find it? Did you check Powered Automotive? Get high-quality DAF, International, Freightliner, Bedford CM, or Scammell truck parts at the lowest prices at Powered Automotive. Visit them at Lot 1161 EE Eccles. Or call them on telephone number 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization has donated over US $30,000 in surveying equipment to the Government Technical Institute. The donation followed the swearing-in ceremony of 5 new land surveyors at State House. This donation is part of the Sustainable Land Management and Development Project being implemented by the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission in partnership with the FAO and funded by Guyana's Red Plus Investment Fund. So, Norway's money is being used to pay for this. The state has been granted more time to defend itself in the case regarding the suspension of the 8 opposition parliamentarians. The High Court granted leave to Nandalal to file a notice of application disputing the court's jurisdiction to hear the application brought by the 8 APNU AFC MPs who are challenging their suspension from the courts for their unruly display of behavior last year in Parliament. Additionally, the state has been allowed to file another case to contend why the opposition parliamentarians' case should be thrown out. This morning, 26-year-old Akeem Lashley pleaded guilty to drug trafficking charges and has been sentenced to 4 years imprisonment and fined $2.3 million Ghana dollars. Lashley was among 5 persons arrested on Monday when more than 3 pounds of cocaine was found at the home of Andre Clarke. Despite that, Lashley told the court that the drugs were his and not Clarke's. Meanwhile, Clarke pleaded not guilty to the drug trafficking charges. He was released on $150,000 bail. The 3 other detainees have not been charged as of yet. Nevertheless, an investigation is ongoing. Today, more than 15,000 farmers in Region 2 began receiving vouchers for free fertilizer as part of the government's nationwide fertilizer relief program. The voucher received varies based on the acres of land farmers utilized and are valid for the next 6 months. Of the $1 billion Ghana dollars set aside for the fertilizer nationwide, Region 2 farmers would get $275 million worth of fertilizer. It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, K-9 services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today. Now for today's oil update. CGX Energy is pushing back the completion date for their Berbice deepwater port, citing certain delays. They said that at this point it is very unlikely they will finish before year's end as originally projected. Now a revised schedule of completion of the port is being discussed with the contractor, with an update expected to be provided to all stakeholders involved, quote, in due course. The government basically said they've had enough with the delays, and if need be, they will find another company to complete the project. Most likely Abu Dhabi Ports, as they've expressed interest in Guyana. Nevertheless, CGX has completed an access bridge from Quarantine Highway, rehabilitation of the access road, construction of the lay-down yard, construction of sea defense, and extension of electricity infrastructure to the port site, and delivery of potable water to the site. Now for our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Guyana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it is well. Last night I asked about your thoughts on ganja. Should it be legalized, decriminalized, or stay legal? Everyone who responded seemed to be in support of legalization, such as Dimitri V, who does believe that Guyana should legalize it because it will substantially reduce the arrests in the nation. 2, it opens the door for medical use. And 3, the government can tax it. And 4, the police can free up resources to fight real crimes. Damien says it should be legal and to start putting people's children in prison for it. KJ says, I really don't get it. Aren't the 2 from the same genus of plant? If hemp is legal, shouldn't its cousin plant be legal also? Well, that is something to consider. And finally, Anthony Gibbons says legalize it for the following 4 reasons. 1, it's already common knowledge that most people use it in our communities, including the police. Secondly, the government can tax it for revenue. Thirdly, once legalized, it can be researched, and this will give them a chance to create proper support systems for chronic users to avoid addictions. Fourthly, more legal money for small businesses and self-employed people. And lastly, it will remove the stigma that is associated with it. All good points. So, again, as I said, it seems like everyone here is in support of legalization. Before we get to tonight's question, you can multiply your cash by selling digital top-up. This is a legit way you can earn smash money at your business or to supplement your current hustle. Become a top-up vendor quick and easy by linking with Cellular Plus. Call them on telephone number 685-3109 for more info. The government says there is a severe need for more land surveyors. What do you think are some things the government should do to attract people to the industry? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks.